You've got questions, we've got answers. Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, answering the questions that new leaders ask us. Our goal is to help all leaders become more successful, productive, and confident. Today we're talking about leading people who are older than you are. Are you ready? Let's go. Here's the question we received. As a new leader, how do I lead team members who are older than me? Well, if you're nodding your head thinking, man, I want the answer to this question, let me tell you, it could be worse. It could be every single member of your team could be older than you. Or like some of our clients who work in operations or in facilities in smaller towns, I've worked with new leaders who have got their family friends or family members older than them reporting to them. So, hey, your situation could be worse. But here's the thing. This is a real situation. It could very well happen. And if it's happening to you or would happen to you in the future, I got a few things for you to keep in mind. The first thing is to acknowledge the difference. Don't let this be the thing that no one wants to talk about. Everybody knows that you're younger than them. This doesn't happen to me anymore, by the way. But everyone knows that they're older than you are and all that stuff, so better to bring it up and talk about it. Hey, I know this might be hard for you to have as your supervisor someone who's the same age as your kids. Just bring it up in conversation. Give it a chance to come out into the open. Give people a chance to talk. Acknowledge it. Don't let it be the unspoken item. Number 2, ask for their help. Hey, I'm a new supervisor and I have a role to play, but I also know that you have a lot more life experience and maybe a lot more experience in this facility or in this job or on this team than I do, and I'd really like your help. I'd like to have access to your experience. I'd like to understand what you've seen and ask for their help. Guess what happens when most times when you ask for people's help? They appreciate it and they give it. The third thing is don't over worry about it. I've found that many times the issue here is that, it's a bigger issue for you than it is for the other person. You get all worried about the fact that these older folks are going to be worried about it, and they aren't nearly as concerned as you are. Should you be aware of it? Yes. Should you talk about it? Yes. Should you be immobilized by it? Absolutely not. You may be making a mountain out of a molehill. Number 4 is to create mutual respect. At the end of the day, that's probably what you're worried about. Will they respect me because I'm a lot younger than they are? So you should definitely respect them for their knowledge and their experience, and you can still be their leader or supervisor in that situation, but look for ways to create mutual respect. And if you do those first 4 things, the 5th one will be easier. Lead with confidence. I'm not talking about leading with arrogance, like you know it all. That'll get you in trouble and is incorrect anyway, but lead with confidence. If you do those first 4 things, that age issue should be less of a concern for you and for the other person, and chances are you'll be in a position to be more confident and lead with greater success. Remember, you probably have more of an ally than an adversary in this case. In fact, the last thing I'll say about all of this is that if you do these things and you work to create mutual respect and you ask for their help and you do all the things we've talked about, you may find that person on your team that's a lot older than you becomes your biggest supporter and biggest cheerleader. And wouldn't that be great? Let's close with today's tweet. We can lead those older than us and still respect our elders. In fact, when we do, we will lead more effectively. Confidence matters for us as leaders, and getting over issues like age differences can be a big part of that. Hope that this Q&A was helpful and useful for you, and I hope you'll join us in the future. New leaders encounter many difficult and often uncomfortable challenges and changes during their initial transition to leadership. Perhaps it's 2 employees who are constantly bickering and it's starting to affect their work. As their coworker, maybe you could ignore it, but now you're their supervisor. Or maybe a new direct report has way more experience than you do and is pushing back on some of your task assignment and delegation attempts. Or perhaps there are supervisory responsibilities that you just don't know how to handle. Making the transition to leadership is one of the most challenging life events we'll ever face. And while there's no doubt that this transition is extremely challenging, there are solutions that can help ease the stress and set you up for success now and in the future. Bud to Boss is a powerful and interactive workshop for new supervisors who want to grow their leadership skills fast. In just 2 days, you will learn how to expertly handle all of your new challenges, including how do I get a better understanding of my new role and responsibilities? How do I gain respect, trust, and credibility in my new role? What is the best way to communicate about difficult issues? How do I really lead a team? How do I do performance reviews? How can I manage my time and juggle an ever-changing list of priorities? How do I communicate with new peers that have way more experience than I do? What's the best way to delegate effectively? And lots more. Don't risk your career by stumbling along at the start, learning through trial and error. Get the essential management and leadership techniques and strategies you need to succeed with the Bud to Boss workshop. Click on the button below to learn more. The skills you need to succeed are one click away.